everyone, myself Srivali, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Cybersecurity and Data Science in MLR Institute of Technology. So today we are going to discuss indirect method of proof. So the Oreo of presentation includes introduction to indirect method of proof, steps to derive the indirect method of proof, and also we have to solve some examples. So let us see one by one here. So the first one is how to solve this indirect method of proof. What are the steps that we need to solve indirect method of proof? So here, first one is, what is the first step is include the negation of the desired conclusion as a new premise. Means whichever the conclusion they are giving, for that conclusion you need to include the negation, and that one you have to take it as additional premise. Include the negation of the desired conclusion as a new premise, solve along with the new premise and get the condition P and negation P, at least for any variable. So what is the meaning here is, so for example, if they are giving here P and S, so apply, this is a conclusion, some premises they have given like P1, P2, P3, so on like that. Now, this is a conclusion and these are the premises. For this conclusion, we need to apply negation. After applying the negation, you have to consider this is as also one new premise which is called as like for example P4. And along with this three premises, you have to include this premise as an additional premise. Solve until you get in the form of a contradiction. So here contradiction example is nothing but P and negation P, R and negation R, Q and negation Q, like this. So if you solve until you get it in the form of this contradiction format for any variable, then we can say that you have proved by using indirect method of proof. So let us solve the example so that we can understand how to solve the indirect method of proof. So the first question is here, prove by indirect method negation Q, P implies Q, P or R implies R. So if you see in the question here, wherever you see implies, after implies, the right hand side of the implies, you have to include that this is the conclusion. And the given premises are negation Q, P implies Q, P or R. So this is premise 1, premise 2 and premise 3. And here this is the conclusion. So for this conclusion, just apply the negation, then it will become negation R, then it will become the premise as 4. And along with this premises, you have to consider this also premise and you need to solve until you get into the form of the contradiction format. So let us solve here. So here, let us go for the premise number, step number, the premise name, and also include here the last one is rule of inference. So here, first one, premise number is 1, step number is 1, and the premise here you can include is P or R, and this is rule P. So here, premise number is 1, step number is 2, and this one you can write it as R or P also, and this is called rule P, or using here equivalence formula. So next one here, the same premise here, step number 3, and I can write it as negation R implies P also. So here if you observe here, so P implies Q is negation P or Q. So here negation P or Q. So for this what I am doing is, here negation is not there here, I am just including negation R. So if I include negation R here, so what it will become, negation of negation R or P. That is nothing but R or P it will become. So this R or P I have written in the form of negation R implies P. So which is called here rule P, and this is also equivalence formula. So I have used equivalence formula. So now here, go for the premise number which is nothing but 4, step number 4, and here I am including negation R which is called as additional premise. So which is called as here additional premise. So now negation R comma negation R implies P. 1 comma 4 step number 5 and here you will get P, which is called rule T by using the step numbers 3 comma 4 and this is called I11. Now here next we have the connectivity with P implies Q, so you can write it as premise number 6 step number 6 P implies Q here and which is called here rule P. Next here by using P comma P implies Q you will get the answer as Q by using I11. So the same thing here 1, 4, 6 premise numbers and step number is 7 and here rule T. So by using the 5, 6 steps I got, by using the I11 formula I got Q here. So now here we have used negation here. So we have used here P implies Q, we have used PR or and we have used negation R also. Then we are left over with negation Q here. So just include that negation Q here. So premise number is 8, step number is 8, negation Q and this is called rule P. Now by seeing here Q and negation Q, so just by applying the I9 formula is what here? P comma Q is equivalent to P and Q. So by applying the I9 formula that for 7 and 8 steps, premises numbers here 1, 4, 6 and 8, then you will get into the form of here contradiction format. So here 1, 4, 6, 8, step number is here 9 and here Q and negation Q. So Q and negation Q, this is called rule T. Step numbers Fn comma 8 I have used and the form here it is I9 form, I9 implication form. So which is called here indirect method. So this is called indirect method. So what is our indirect method here? So any variable you have to get into the form of this contradiction format, Q and negation Q, R and negation R or anything. So like this we can solve the problem here. So let us go for the next problem here. Show that negation of P and Q follows from negation P and negation Q. So here which one is conclusion from this? Which one is the premise you have to identify? Show that negation of P and Q follows from negation P and negation Q. That is nothing but this is the conclusion here and this is the premise here. Now for this negation of P and Q, if you apply here negation of P and Q, which is nothing but it will get P and Q as a additional premise. So this one you have to include it in the given premises, then you have to solve until you get contradiction. Now the same process here, premise number premise name and for here you need to include step number also and here rule of inference. So here the premise number is 1, step number is 1 and the premise here you have to include is P and Q, which is called as additional premise. So here rule P, which is nothing but additional premise. And here premise number is here same thing, step number 2. So here I can write P and Q as Q here. So by applying the implication formula, so which is called as rule T and step number 1 and this is I2. And here the given premise you have to include, which is nothing but here premises number is 3, step number is 3 and negation P and negation Q, which is called as rule P. Now here premises number the same thing 3, step number is 4. Now negation P and negation Q. For example, if P and Q is there, Q by applying the I2 formula. So the same thing I have just taken as this as P and Q as Q here, that is negation Q, which is called as rule T, step number 3 and I have applied I3 formula. Now Q is there, negation Q is there. So here the premises numbers are, you will get 5 and the step number is 5 and Q and negation Q you will get, and the rules, it is rule P, and what are the steps that we have used is here 2, 4 and I9 formula. So by applying I9 formula here we got Q and negation Q, means we have applied negation for the given conclusion and we have considered that is as the additional premise, and along with that we have taken the given premise also and we have solved until we got the contradiction format. So this is called indirect method of proof, like how we need to solve the problem. So next we have the other question also. So using indirect method of proof, derive P implies negation yes from P implies QR or Q implies negation P, yes implies negation R and also P. So here, so first one is here, the conclusion is P implies negation yes. So if you apply negation for P implies negation yes, then what you will get is here, by applying standard formula negation P or Q, that is nothing but negation P or negation yes. So negation of if you take P and yes you will get, so this negations will get cancelled and you will get the answer as P and S. This is called as additional premise. So this is called as an additional premise here. Now you have to include this additional premise also with all the given premises and we need to solve here. So now here, so the same thing here, premise number, step number, premise name and a rule of inference. So here, if you apply P and S, for example, premise number is 1, step number is 1, P and S I have taken additional premise, rule P and additional premise. Next, premise number is 1, step number is 2 and P and S as I can write it as yes, and this is called as rule T, and which is the step 1 and which is called as here I2. P and S is yes, like P and Q is Q, P and Q use P by applying the I1 formula. So here I have taken yes, which is nothing but I2 formula. So next we have premises number is 3, step number is 3 and premise name you can include it as here. We have connection with yes implies negation R. So then this is called rule P. Now step number is, so here S comma S implies negation R, that is nothing but here. So here 1 comma 3 you can write it, and step number is 4 and negation R, which is called as rule T. Step numbers are 2 comma 3 and which is I11 formula. Now this one is done. Next, well, let us go with here P, premises number 5, step number is 5. So here P, which is called as rule P. Now here, so premises number here is 6, step number is 6 and I have included the, so if this P is done, now we are going to include P implies QR or, which is called as here a rule P. Now the premises name here you will get the 5 comma 6, step number is 7, P comma P implies QR or is QR or, that is P comma P implies Q is Q, which is called as here rule T, step number 5 comma 6 and I11 formula I have applied. Now, so P implies is also done here. So now Q implies negation P is there. So let us go with the Q implies negation P here. So where we can write here, okay, for example, 5 comma 6 is there. So the same thing you go for this, step number 8 and let us write Q. So here, if I write Q, this is called rule P, rule T. So by using the equivalence formula. So next here, after Q, next we are left over with Q comma Q implies negation P formula. So just directly write Q comma Q implies negation P. Then write down here premises number is 9, step number is 9, and this is called rule P. Now Q comma Q implies negation P is negation P. So this is called as 5, 6, 9 and step number is 10, and this is called as rule T by applying the steps 8, 9 and I11 formula. Now if we observe here, we got P and we also got negation P. So at last you can write it as P and negation P, which is our contradiction format. So this is step 11 and this is, we can say that rule T for the steps 5 and 10, 5, 10, and this is called I9 formula we have used. And you will get the steps as same here, 5, 6, 9 here. So here if we observe, this is called contradiction format, indirect method of proof. So like this you can able to solve the problems here. So now if we observe here the last question, and not only indirect method, the other name for indirect method is inconsistency of premises. Means what is the difference is actually, if for indirect method of proof and inconsistency of premises is, for indirect method of proof they'll be giving the conclusion and they'll be giving some premises. For the conclusion, we have to include negation and you need to take it as an additional premise and you need to solve along with the given premises. But whereas here in the inconsistent premises, they'll not give any conclusion. So only with the given premises, you have to solve it until you get into the form of contradiction format. Pn negation P, Rn negation R or anything, but the conclusion is not given. The only difference is here there is no conclusion in inconsistency of premises, whereas in the indirect method of proof they'll be giving the conclusion. For that you need to apply negation and you need to solve along with the given premises. So here let us solve one question like how to solve this inconsistency of premises also. So here show that the following premises are inconsistent. That is P implies Q, Q implies R, S implies negation R, P and S. So here if you see directly here, P and S you can take it as yes. S comma S implies negation R is negation R. So here negation R, if you keep it aside, P implies Q, Q implies R is P implies R. So that P implies R, if you write negation R implies negation R P. So you will get negation R comma negation R implies P. So let us solve this here. So just by using the same rules of inference here, premise number, step number, and here premise name, and here a rule of inference. So here what we are doing is premises number is 1, step number is 1, and premises name is here P and S, and here I have taken here rule P. So here rule P, and the premises number is here the same thing, premises number is 1, step number is 2, and here I am taking rule, that is P and S is P, which is called rule T by applying the E11 formula. That is, or you can say that this formula is here I1 formula. So by applying the I1 formula, you can write it as here I1 for the step 1, for the step 1 here. So next here the premises number is 2 and step number is 3, and you can include it as P implies Q. So this is called rule P. So here the same process we are doing here, but only the thing is there is no conclusion, there is no concept of additional premise here. So here P comma P implies Q is Q. This is rule T and 2 comma 3 and I11 formula. Next we are going with the Q implies R, which is called as here R. So here the premises that we are doing is premises number is 5, step number is 5, and this is called rule P. And here this 1 comma 2 comma 5 will get premise numbers, step number is 6, and this is called as rule T by steps 4 comma 5 and I11 formula. Next if you see here So we got, P implies Q is done, Q implies R is done here. So we are, P and S is also done. We are left over with S implies negation R. So now here, so the same thing, the premises number is 7, step number is 7. So this S implies negation R, I can write it as R implies negation S by applying the contrapositive. So in the previous problems also we have applied contrapositive. That is nothing but here, if you have P implies Q, Q implies P, you can write. Negation P implies negation Q, you can write, or negation Q implies negation P, you can write. So this is the contrapositive I have applied for here. S implies negation R, which is nothing but here rule P. The same thing here I am including R implies negation S. So here R implies negation S is nothing but here. So R comma R implies negation S is yes. So here I have negation S here. Now I don't have yes. But from this P and S, I can write it as yes also in the next step. So here, so the premises numbers you will get is here R implies the same thing here I am writing. So which is called as rule T by applying the equivalence formula. Now I will get negation Q, negation S by applying the I11 formula here, which is rule T I11 formula. And here I have used here, so R comma R implies negation S, 1, 2, 5, 7 I will get, and negation S I will get. Now in the next step what we will get is, so here step number is 10. From the P and S, I can also write it as yes by applying the I2 formula. So this premises number I will get is here 1. For the 1, I am writing here yes. And next we can write it as, by including yes and negation yes, I will write yes and negation yes. So by applying the formula I9. So what are the steps we have included here? 9 and 10. For 9 and 10, so this is called rule T and this is also called rule T. And here I will get is here 1, 2, 6, 7. So now this is the answer here, yes and negation yes, which is called contradiction format. So now here only difference between indirect method of proof and inconsistency are, so here there is no negation with the given premises we are solving here until we get into the form of contradiction. So here I got negation yes, but I don't have yes. Here I have P, I don't have negation P. Here I have Q, but I don't have negation Q. I have R, negation R is not there. So to get the negation yes here, here I have negation yes. To get the yes here, so from this first premise itself, I can write it as P and S as yes by applying the implication formula I2. Now, if you combine these two by applying the I9 formula, which is nothing but P comma Q implies P and Q. So just I have applied I9 formula, then I got yes and negation yes, which is our contradiction format. So like this here, we need to solve indirect method of proof and inconsistency of premises. So by this, we'll end the session. We have solved the examples of indirect method or inconsistency of premises. So what we have discussed today is, what is indirect method of proof? What are the steps that we need to follow to solve the derivation of the indirect method of proof? And we have also seen the examples, few examples on this. And we have also seen what is the difference between inconsistency of premise, indirect method of proof. And one example we have seen for the inconsistency of the premises also. So like here, by this, we'll end the session. Thank you.